Motivation is for the weak. The title of this video says it all. Self-doubt is normal. However, the need for motivation is for the unsuccessful. If you know someone who needs to be lifted up emotionally to achieve something, he never wanted it in the first place. He's simply someone who wishes upon a star for the world to give him something he never deserved. Even worse? He thinks the emotional pump-up is good for him. The type of person who gets amped up by written words in a textbook or a motivational video will scour the internet far and wide, looking for a solution to his problems. It will never come. He will attend seminars and speaking venues. It will never help him. He will try to use the same ideas to sell to his peers. It will never work. He'll never find his magic product or service to sell. He'll never succeed even in the slightest, because he is unwilling to take risks. Perhaps if he is lucky, he gets by on a middle-class salary. But he's never going to accomplish anything meaningful. Period. Knowing that most people love this type of inspirational nonsense, many people become rich by transferring this feeling to the masses. As usual, don't just do the opposite. Be the opposite. Use motivation to sell products, because people will make purchases when they are in a high emotional state. Instead of nagging on and on about how weak people enjoy motivation, we're going to give away a step-by-step process to rid yourself of the need for motivation, for free. Step 1. Stand up, walk out. Let's assume the worst. Someone watching this likely enjoys motivational speeches. Time to throw away the crutch, kill it for good. Choose a large venue. College commencement speeches and motivational seminars are good for this. Sit front and center. You are waiting now. Wait until the crowd bends to his words. When the crowd is bending to his words, you'll sense an uncomfortable quiet and focus from those around you. This is usually just moments before the conclusion of the speech. Stand up, slowly. Walk through the crowd, slowly. Never look back. As people stare at you, make eye contact, until they break first or you have walked past them. Head straight, do not look down. Time will slow as you feel the scrutiny from your peers weighing on your shoulders. You are not doing this for the attention. Exit the venue. To reiterate, this is not done for attention. When you are quizzed as to why you left at the best part of the seminar, simply say you had to use the restroom. An emotionless statement. Do not say anything negative or positive about the speech, remain in a neutral state. You're not doing this to be a hater. Never mention the incident again. What have you done? You have taken control of your emotions. Congratulations! This is step 1 in your long journey to internal motivation. You will not bend to the words of others for feelings or emotion, you will only listen to logic and reason. Most won't be able to complete step 1. Step 2. Testing phase. The one-time event from step 1 is going to give you more adrenaline than the entire speech. You've stood up against the largest enemy of all, the masses. Learn to control your heart rate and bring yourself back down to normalcy as fast as possible. After taking a large jump towards emotional control, it is time to see what you are actually good at. The bad news? Time is not on your side. The good news? Everyone is good at something. Find 25 subjects that you are interested in. Since this channel is about making money and having fun, we're going to assume you're more interested in the money part. Go and try all of them until you feel comfortable with the subject. It may take 4 to 6 months, but we doubt it. You're going to be good at some, terrible at others, and have potential in maybe 2 of them. Check those 2 out. How do you know the difference between good and potential? Other people will tell you that you're good at it. These people will not be your friends and family, they will have businesses in the same field. To conclude the testing phase, here's the rub. Most people try to do what they love. This does not work. Almost everyone would love a life where they have sex every day, get drunk, and make a lot of money for doing nothing. Naturally, none of this is really going to get you anywhere. Instead of doing what you love, find what you are actually good at first, then figure out if you can do it for many hours per day, bringing us to step 3. Step 3. Stress testing. Stress test refers to stress testing your physical body. Step number 2: already determined if you have the talent or intelligence to be good at the task. Let's assume you found 2 topics that you have a knack for. Time to stress test. Can you do this for more than 80 hours a week consistently? Try it. You try 1. You find that you're sick of it after a week, complaining about the lack of sleep, complaining about the types of people you were meeting, complaining about the effort it took to improve upon your craft, complaining about the process of setting up the business. You try another one. You don't complain about your lack of sleep because you wake up energized. Strange. You don't complain about the people you meet, there are some bad apples, but it is tolerable. Strange. You don't mind the hassles of dealing with a miniature set of customers. Strange again. Strange that you're working the same hours but you're not tired anymore. You found a potential revenue stream. Step 4. Prioritize. So you found one interest with revenue potential. Check. You've already stress tested yourself for 3 months or so. Check. Now it's time to reprioritize your life to go all in on your newfound venture, while maintaining a normal social personality. You can guess where we're going with this. You commit 100%. You care about every single detail. You do not cut any corners. You do not run in blind. Maybe you need an example. Let's say your interest is Wall Street, then you'll take your work extremely seriously. You care about everything in that case. You care if the charts have tick marks or not. You care if there is a typo on a slide no one will read. You care if you respond to a client in 90 seconds or 45 seconds. Everything matters. You start building based on long hours of research and effort and commit every single ounce of energy into the project until you are beat. Now you've got 1 to 2 hours of leisure time and 6 to 8 hours to sleep. Remember step 2? This is how you avoid becoming a boring type A person who no one wants to hang out with. Keep those fun ideas in your back pocket, and they become your new source of fun and entertainment. You will go through phases and cycle through many activities where you'll be pretty good and more people will enter your social circle. Step 5. Daily, monthly and annual accountability. If you've done the first 4 steps appropriately, you won't waste your time listening to speeches or reading insanely corny success stories. How does reading about the success of someone else, without any actual actionable advice, help you? It doesn't. If you cannot apply it, you have wasted your valuable time. Again, if someone else has to get you to take action, you are going to lose in the ring every single time to the person who inspired you to take action. You do not read to take action. You only read in search of actionable advice. No exceptions. You write down your accomplishments, your failures, and your future tasks every single day. Every single month. Every single year. You tell no one on a personal basis that you are doing this. It is up to you, and only you, to hold yourself accountable and compare yourself to the person you were last year. Under no circumstances do you compare yourself to others, there is always someone better than you. Make your income grow at a faster rate each year. This is extremely difficult. In simple terms, if you were up 10% last year, your goal is to be up 15% this year. If you are up 20%, then you want to be up 25%. The law of large numbers works against you. This is the fun part of the game. It is just that, a game. Finally, throwing income out of the equation, if you run into an acquaintance you have not seen for a year, he or she should recognize that something has changed. Many times people cannot put their finger on it, but you are simply different compared to the last time you two spoke. In a good way. Step 6. No one cares about your career or business. Most people talk about their work, career, or business. Can it? Unless the person you are meeting can potentially help you in your venture, there is no point in giving people information about your life. When you are out once or twice a week since you earned it, leave it all behind you. This will work wonders for you. Most people dislike what they do, so bringing up work in a social environment is a terrible decision. In addition, if people realize you're happy with your life, they will pepper you with questions and waste more of your time. It's a lose-lose situation. You either kill the atmosphere, make the person feel unhappy talking about careers and work, or you have a mediocre person trying to squeeze information out of you. Remember, if you're going to meet someone to discuss important topics, you're not meeting them out and about on your leisure time. To repeat. Can it? Step 7. Repeat step 2. Once you've squeezed as much as you can from one venture, it is time to move to the next. Do not let your life pass you by. Every year should be filled with interesting and new hobbies and ideas. If you think that the last year flew by, it means you were in a mundane routine. Do not do this. Step 8. Bonus sales tip. Now that we've basically killed the myth on motivational speaking and other such nonsense, you know what to do: use it to sell. By definition, again, the masses love this stuff. If the masses love to be motivated and pumped up, use motivation to sell more products and services. Get them amped up and feeling good about themselves, then make the sale. No, we're not saying you should sell bullshit products. Instead, make the connection that if motivation and pump-up speeches are popular, you know the masses will buy. Concluding remarks. In short, motivation is a tool used to sell to the masses. If you can make someone feel hyped, they will bend to your beliefs and purchase. It is perfectly fine to use motivation to your advantage to sell products. From an individual standpoint, however, no one should be able to motivate you. You should be internally motivated to do well, and the external motivators should be telling you to slow down if anything. People who are internally motivated have a problem of going too far, while people who need external motivation have not even started in the first place. The bullets. 1. Go against the grain in a large environment to take control of your emotions. 2. Find what you're good at. No one can hold your hand through this process. 3. Stress test yourself intensely and find out if you can actually handle 80 hours a week. Most give up after 50. 4. Prioritize everything in your life to maximize your brain cells towards that activity. 5. Hold yourself accountable on a daily basis and have an annual review. The harshest critic should be yourself. 6. Leave all this effort behind you during downtime. Your brain needs to recharge, and no one cares about your success. 7. Repeat step 2. Most people work boring 9-to-5 jobs, so they do not know the difference between year 1 and year 5. We realize this video is going to piss off a lot of people. This is fine. Those who are upset can go back to watching motivational videos.